Listen, it was a great weekend. Before we even touch on our game, right? Got to touch on how he's played out, man. Chelsea again, you know what I mean? Like, Chelsea done us a real favour yesterday. You know what I mean? I was watching the game, and I'm thinking to myself, first half, it was a nothing half for starters. Let me just say, right? I was trying to compare that game, magnitude-wise, to our game against Villa. Because our game against Villa, the crowd were up for it. Everybody's up for it. I was watching that game. I was like,
it's flat.
It sounds flat in there. It doesn't seem like, you know what I mean? Nobody seemed fired up. They got the lead City. Great goal by Reinders. And I'm thinking, this is only going to go one way. But then when the second half started and Chelsea started up in it, I was like, I think they could get something out of this. You know what I mean? I was getting really frustrated with Pedro Neto. Because I was like, you can, you was cooking, right? And then
he's so bad.
I think when they bought Delap on, that's when they started to give it a lot of problems, man. Because I started looking at that defence and thinking, this defence that City have got, man, can be got at. And, you know, they get that last-minute equaliser. I mean, that was brilliant for Arsenal. 6 points clear now. I mean, this could be a moment. Could be. Listen, we can't assume. Remember, I was looking at it today, I'm like, who's the biggest threat now? Them or Villa? They're on the same points.
Your confidence is high, isn't it?
No, listen, I'm not getting... no, I said, I did a reaction video yesterday, so I ain't getting carried away. It's City.
Yeah.
Right? They can go on a crazy run. We've seen them do it before. They can go on a crazy run. But I'm just looking at them and I'm thinking, it's not even me looking, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, I can see them dropping more points. Listen, as good as they are up front, I think at the back, and yesterday they've lost Gvardiol now, and they've lost Diaz, right? Yeah. No stones at the moment. I think with us, when we lose key players, we've shown throughout this season that we're able to absorb those better at the moment than they are. That's what I feel.
The trouble with Man City is they haven't got the players. When they went on these mad runs, they had De Bruyne and players like that. They haven't got that good Gundogan. They haven't got that quality of player no more. They've got good players, but they haven't got the players that, they had a John Stones fit. They had a Diaz that was fit. They had a Rodri that was 100% fit. They're not that same animal. And I think you've got to realise that, 2 years ago, that team would have won easily at Sunderland. 2 years ago, they would have won easily against Chelsea. Against a Chelsea side, by the way, that had 4 players out themselves. So when Man City
Caicedo,
when Man City fans jump on about
managers.
Injuries, when they jump on about injuries and all that, Chelsea had as many injuries as they did, or many players out, And I keep hearing this thing, you can't make injuries an excuse. So, you've got to get on with it. And at the end of the day, listen, they've got their 2 centre-halves out. We had our 2 centre-halves out when we went to Villa away. Maybe they've got to go to Manchester United now without their central defenders. See how they get on.
2 centre-halves out of Liverpool.
Yeah. So
I'm just, I'm with you. I do think this ain't the same City as before. I don't think they've got as much star quality as they've had previously, and I do think we've got to win it this year. I don't think we're going to get a better opportunity than this to win the league. But I don't know if it's the previous years has just done it to me. I feel like we need to be like 9 or 10 points clear before I start to feel like,
I get that.
Because the thing is, even like you look at the last week, they haven't lost. Draws like the best you're getting out of them. They've still got Ait-Nouri and Mamouche to come back from AFCON. Semenyo are probably going to sign this week.
But it's not still there. Don't you think with it though, right? You're naming attackers, right? Are they just going to go and outscore everybody?
I think that's what they will try.
Because the thing for me, right, I was looking at it yesterday and thinking, right, Semenyo, a great signing. We saw, he's a quality player. But is that what they need right now? I think they're all right up front. They've got firepower. It's the defence. I look at that defence and the midfield. Right, you said Rodri he's only just come back, so we don't know if he'll improve. That will not the same Rodri we're used to seeing because he's just coming back off of an injury. But certainly when I look at them defensively, I'm like, you can get through that defence.
And with Rodri as well now, because of the other fella that's got injured now, they might have to play.
Gonzalez.
They might have to play Rodri now 3 or 4 games more than what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, Pep obviously wanted to ease him in. Now he hasn't got the choice of easing him. He's got to play. They've got Champions League games where they've still got to, where we can rest players if we want. They've still got to, get into the top 8 because I think they get the 8, but they've got, it depends where they want to get in that. So listen, it's boding well for us at this moment in time, and if you're the best team in the league, which I do, I still think that we are. I think we showed that on the game against Bournemouth when we weren't at our best, but they were still good enough to beat a Bournemouth team that played well. When you're the best, you're 6 points in front of you. You have to get it done now. You have to get it done. You know what I mean? But as I said, even when we was winning leagues, you weren't winning leagues in January, February. You still got to continue to keep winning games, and that's what we've got to do.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you guys said. I do think, as you guys said, this isn't the Man City team that we've seen over the years. They've just got to weather the storm of injuries, because from week 1 we've had injuries. Do you know what I mean? We've had so many players out. As you said, what game was it where we went to Villa away, no Gabriel, no Saliba. When we went to Liverpool away, Saliba comes off within 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? We've had to play Tippenberg at centre-back, had to play Nkapia, go to Chelsea away. Mascara and Hincapia's first ever game together is against Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So we've weathered all of that very well. We've come through the other end. We just have to, as Declan Rice said in the game, we just have to keep doing what we're doing. Don't watch anybody else. Keep winning games.
Yeah, exactly.
And you put the pressure on them, to carry on winning. And I was doing FCM last night, and someone sent in a super chat to them saying that basically the last 3 times that Man City have played after us, they've dropped points. And I was like, that's actually a really good observation. So is that showing that Man City at this moment in time aren't really doing well with the pressure, whereas we're actually coasting through it quite well, to be honest. We've only lost twice. We've drawn, 3 times? That's quite a decent return. I think, considering maybe how the season started, we were behind Liverpool at one point. I think every Arsenal fan would feel very happy with how it's going at the moment.
I think that's a great point. I didn't know that until you said that they've done that. But I even felt yesterday their fans realised that it weren't coming. Do you know what I mean? They started trying to help them.
Come on, City, come on, City in the second half.
You could see that, because we was thinking, there might be a chance here, you know what I mean? And obviously Chelsea were thinking that, and the fans are thinking that. So maybe they got a little bit nervous and sat back, like we did a couple of games, sat back when they probably shouldn't have done. When you look at it, Pep's such a fantastic manager, and tactically he's got everything here. That's a couple of times now against Arsenal. They dropped back and conceded in the last minute. They've done it again yesterday, and that's with the firepower that they've got. Haaland, you know what I mean?
Foden.
They've got a lot of firepower.
Where's Jack,
and they chose to drop back, So maybe the pressure is a little bit there. I don't know.
Do you know what's interesting? Pep's never gone 2 years in his career without a title. This is his second year.
Crazy.
And imagine losing it to your apprentice. There would be a little bit of embarrassment there for him. I've taught this guy and he's come and took that power away from me. And then does that make City ask questions of him? They reckon Maresca's been interviewed twice this season for the City job. So I think there's a little bit more riding on it this year for Pep than usual. So
I think Pep will leave at the end of the season, whatever happens.
Yeah, so do I.
I do. I just think that he looks a little bit. I don't know. He don't look the same, does he? You not fair?
But he got back with his wife, and last year he was going mad. One, he's scratching his face, and he got back with his wife, and he extended. Haaland signed a 9-year deal, didn't he?
Yeah.
You would imagine that Pep would have said something like, "I'm going to be here for a little bit."
Yeah, I'm with Lee. I think he'll go. He'll go when his contract's. He's got 18 months, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the end of next season, isn't it?
That's the end of next season. He might stay till that. If they, but at the end of the day, right, listen, who cares, right? At the end of the day, it was a wonderful weekend.